concepts I'll teach you. Okay, these are all theory. Encryption, how you can encrypt your database, the queries that you're running. So you have a lot of things inbuilt. You have to just make sure everything is intact. Okay, query tool. Today we're going to learn what partitioning table, then followed by subqueries. Okay, and then procedures and triggers. Okay. Okay, so first we'll understand what is table partition. Okay, so in simple terms, see, I mean, the definition, what we are talking about, it is there in the heading itself, table partitioning. Okay, it means splitting a large table. When we say large table, when we have a lot of columns. Okay, so there might be instance where you will partition your entire table into different chunks. Okay, and what you are looking for, based on that information also you can partition. Okay, so it means splitting a large table into smaller physical pieces, and while you keep the logical design of that one table. Okay, so where these are created, instead of storing, see, you might have come across where we store a lot of rows, right, in one table. So instead of storing million of rows in one table, the database stores them in partition. Okay, and why partition? You can query faster. I can say benefit is faster query performance. Then you have easier maintenance, then data management, better data management, and then you can do efficient indexing, and you can archive whichever is not required, and then you can restore it easily. Okay. So what we're going to do is now, so we'll take which table, select from. Okay, now take this table as instance. Okay, now how many rows we have? 14,596. Okay, now how can you make a partition of this table into chunks? Okay, you have to look at all these things. Okay, now staff ID 2 1. If you have anything called location, you can do by location, but we don't have location. See, amount, no, rental ID, no, this, or but what you can do is you can think of something called payment date. Okay, think of payment date. So if you have a payment of 2027, okay, you have a lot of payments here, right? 2027, I think same data is there. 2027 is there. So what I'll do is we will create one table for learning purpose. Okay, this will not work out. So we have all 2007. So what we'll do is we will split. We will split into payment underscore 2023. Then we'll take and just copy. Okay, 2024. 2025. Okay, so currently we are at 2026. So I'll take a table, I'll create a table. Okay, and I'm going to split based on this, something like this row. Okay, just forget about this table. Okay, this is just for example, but we'll create one to understand. Okay, now what are the types of partition we have? Types of partition. Okay, one you can do based on range partition. Okay, range is you take the date, year, month, quarter. Okay, range. Okay, second one is list partition. Okay, now what is this list partition? You can divide the data based on specific values. For example, you have a table where you have a country. Okay, so you can say country wise: Spain, Japan, China, Russia, India. Okay, right now we don't have this, just a dummy, so don't think about this data. Okay, so where you can do a list partition is like you have a gender, so based on gender also you can do male, female wise. Okay, gender, whatever you think of. Okay, where you see similarity, some repeated columns, repeated values, right? Based on that you can break your table and then you can do a proper analysis on your data. And the last one is hash. Now what is hash partition? Hash partition where the rows are distributed based on hash function. Okay, so we'll write a hash function to show or split based on rows. Okay, with some values and all. So first we will practice on range partition. Okay, so we'll create one table. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll okay, so we know how to create a table. So I've already written here. Okay, I don't want to spend time in writing all these codes and it will take a lot of time. Okay, so since initially I showed you how to create a table, so I'll just go through it. Create table, table name. Okay, and then comma. Okay, these are all your column names. Okay, so I'm creating something called, okay, first thing is first what I'll do is we are in DVD rental. I'll move to generic here. Okay, so I don't want to spoil that. Generic or demo, anything, I'll go with generic. Okay, so create table, some name, payment underscore partition. This is the name of the table. You can give anything, and these are columns. Okay, so payment ID int, customer ID int, staff ID int, rental ID int, amount numeric. Okay, and payment date timestamp. Okay, partition. Same this partition. Same thing I'm creating. I just created this before class. Okay, before I was copying all these things so that it will save time. Same thing I am writing in a different table. Okay, or I can write it there itself. Okay, not a problem. I'll delete the table then later on. Okay, so in the same DVD rental I'll write. So payment partitioned. Okay, so I'll run this. Okay, successfully done. So I'll just run and I'll show you this schema. Okay, so the skeleton is created. Okay, payment ID, blah 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 blah. I've created. Everything is done. Okay, now I'll create a partition now. Okay, so first partition I'll create is based on what? I can pick up the timestamp. Okay, so 1 minute. I mean, it's up and down. It's not okay. Not exactly. Okay, so again, now this is our main table, payment partition. Okay, this is my main table. Okay, you see here, there is a P symbol. This is a partition table. You see, you will see this something like a sign here. Okay, so partitions I have not created. So when you create your table, right, that time also you can decide if you want a partition. If you think it will store a lot of data. Okay, so it will be easy for you to design a table. Okay, so you can see a P symbol here. So that means this particular table has a partition. Okay, so how do you declare here? By partition by range. Okay, so generally up to here, we create a table. Okay, as soon as you add this statement, partition by range, we are taking, I know we have a timestamp here, date. Okay, so based on year, say for example, I have 2025, 2024. So based on that, I can write my partition table and then I can do my analysis. Okay, so I am creating now table, partition table. Okay, payment 2023. Okay, create table, and this is a partition of payment partition. Okay, so you have to mention this name. This is a syntax actually, guys. Okay, for values from, so roughly I've added 1/1/2023 to 1/1/24. Okay, so 1 year data. Okay, so this is done. Okay, now I'll add one more, which is 2024. Okay, so this is 2023. So I'll add one more 2024. Okay, for our example, 2024. Which one? Same table, the top table, which I want to use parent. Okay, for values from, this is, you see the date here is 2023, 24 to 24, 24 to 25. Okay, done. Now what we will do is, since this is a dummy table where we don't have any data, we will insert something here. Okay, 1 minute, I'll save this file. SQL underscore table partition. Okay, so this is about table partitioning. Okay, so I am creating two categories here, date wise. Okay, so which table I am taking, which column I'm taking, payment date. Okay, so since you can see partition by range only I have mentioned. So see, if you have something here, gender or something, no, you can say partition by list. Okay, if you see here, list hash. Okay, right now I'm using range here. So this is range. By range I'm telling, if you want to list, by list. If you have a country here, you say by country, and here you will create for values from. Okay, or value for values within bracket you can say India. Next one partition you can create Italy, China, like that you can get 4 partition. You can do the analysis. Okay, See, you need to practice this, guys, otherwise it will not come. Okay, practice. So I'm writing a insert into some value 1, 2, 3, 10 value, and this is some date. Okay, so you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm insert into payment partition value something blah blah blah. I'm adding there. Insert. Okay, query return. Okay, if I go through this, I should see one record. Okay, this is one record. Okay, so this is one record. So this table is there, no? Create table. This payment. This is for 2023, right? So if I run now, okay. Now you see we are getting 23 records. Okay, we have one more here. This one, 2024, right? Let's see. See, this is empty. We created a partition and we mentioned here the condition is 2024. If I take, I'll do some changes here. Okay, this is 2, right? 3. I'll just give some random number 4. This is 6, 10, 11. Okay, some random. This is again 2023. Okay, done. Now what I'll do is I'll change this to 4, 2, 2024. I'll randomly give 3 and then 11. Okay, some random number. I'll show you the difference now. Okay, done. If I go to this table called partition, payment partition, I see 3 records. Okay, but out of these 3 records, I created a partition. Okay, create partition, some name, partition of which initial table, this table, payment partition. Okay, and for values, this to this I said. Okay, and for this to this I said. Okay, if anything range falls within 1 1 and 1 1 of 24 to 25, that will automatically catch. Now, as per our records, how many records will show up in 2023? 2. Okay, how many records it will show? It should show 1. See, this is the beauty of partitioning. Okay, you add multiple queries. Okay, see, I added for example 3 only. Okay, so when I share this, add some 20 records or 30 records, just copy paste and automatically add it here. Okay, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste and add it. Okay, now this is 3, 4. Insert. Okay, I'll take 5. Insert. Okay, I'll take 6. Okay, okay, now if I go select partition, see, I have 4 records. Okay, initially how many as a table, this partition table, if you go here, how many entry I should see? 6. Since we have populated, okay, this is just an example, 6 entries, but in real time you will have million of records, so you have to partition your table. They'll, your leader will tell you to, why don't you partition your table and bring out the insights. Okay, so when you have a table already, Okay, when you have a table already, okay, then you can create a table. Okay, so you'll create a table payment partition of payment partition. Okay, so you have to mention here, and then you will write down your logic here, whether it's a list, range, or hash. Okay, mostly we use range only. List once in a while. I have never used. This range only I have used. Okay. Next one, partition table subqueries. I'll do one thing. I'll create a new one. Okay. Oh, oops. I don't want this. Okay. So I'll save this as subquery. Okay. Subqueries, SQL subqueries. Okay. Now what is subqueries? Okay. What is a subquery? Okay. A subquery is a query inside another SQL. Okay, like in nested. So you are, I mean, all these days, you know, you write if you want to fetch a data, what SQL query you will write? Select star from table name, right? Now, in the table name, you can write another subquery to pull the information or fetch the information. Okay, and it will help retrieve data that will be used in the main query. Okay, generally we write subquery to help retrieve data that will be used in the main query. Okay, so I'll write down the syntax first. Okay, so select column. Okay, this is the syntax. Select column 1, column 2, column 1, comma, column 2. Okay, this is just an example. Column 1, column 2 from table, any table name. Okay, then you will write where column, okay, where column equals to, here you will write select column from table. Okay, so this is the syntax, simple. See, first statement is select column 1 or star from table where column is equal to select column from table 2 or table 1. Okay, I'll just mention. Okay, so this is how you're going to write a subquery. So a subquery is a query inside another SQL query. So inside another this SQL query, and this query is inside this query, main query. So we call it a subquery. Okay, it helps retrieve data that will be used in the main query. So what this second statement is doing, it is fetching some data from table 2 that will help to support the first query. Okay, we'll do one or two examples, then you will learn. Okay, now again you have a types here. Okay, types of subqueries. One is single row, single row query, row subquery. Okay. Second one is multiple row subquery. Okay. See, in the name itself, you know what it is. A single row means, yeah, it gonna pick some single row query. Multiple means multiple rows, two columns. Okay, two data points. Multiple, then have correlated. Another one is co C-O-R-R-E correlated subquery. And the last one is nested. Nested subqueries. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So quickly we'll start with example. I'll pick up the DVD rental. Okay, then I'll write my query, select which table I'll pick. Payment. First I'll take what are the columns are there. Select start from payment. Okay, so I have cust ID, then I have amount. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna write subquery and main query from the same table. Okay, logic, I'll show you how I'll write the logic based on this sum. Okay, sum where is greater than some amount, or average is greater than some amount. Okay, select cust ID, customer ID. Okay, yeah, customer ID, comma, amount. Okay, from payment table. Okay, I'll take these two first. I'll show you the result and then we'll write a subquery. So this is my result. Okay, now in the next statement I'll write where amount, okay, where amount is greater than, here I'll write my select AVG, stands for average function. Average of what? Amount, average of amount from payment. Okay, now you see what I'm writing is same table. I'm using here one column amount. Okay, and I'm doing average. I'm using average function. Okay, we have already learned this average function. There is nothing new for you guys. Okay, you have to select both line and then run it. So now you see earlier it was some other result. Now you will see some other result. Okay, this is, see, this is 1 minute. Customer ID, customer ID. Okay, 7.99, 1.99, 7.99. Okay, for customer this. Okay, average I'm taking now. Select average of amount. Average of amount is what? Okay, amount where greater than average of amount from payment. Okay, so you see now the results have changed. Okay, 7.9 is my average. Amount is greater than. So these are all numbers. How many? 7,042. If I run this, how many are there actually? 14,596 rows. Okay, so we have only 7,000 entries with average with this functionality. Okay, so this is where you will use these subqueries. Okay, writing a query within one statement. So what happens here is the inner query. Inner query means the bracket one. Okay, the bracket one, the inner query calculates average payment here first. Okay, outer query returns customer paying above average. Okay, so this column that you saw last time, this will show based on this result. Okay, so this is very useful, right? Wherever you want to write some logic to fetch some details and all, right? It is very useful. So this is single row. Okay, multiple row. Okay, I'll take a film table. I'll take some other example. So we have numeric here. Okay, we have rating last updated. Okay, okay, so we have all these things. Okay, I'll pick title. Then I want the film category. If you remember last time also we did category, film category. So there is one more table called select star from category. Okay, let me run this. So film category is the table. Okay, these are the categories. Okay, we should have one more with categories also. Okay, so now I'm showing you multiple queries, multiple subqueries. Okay, so first the idea should be clear in your mind what you're trying to do. Yeah, this one, action, comedy, classic. Yeah, this one. Okay, I'll write down select. I'll take the title from the yeah, title from film. Select TIT title from film. This is first part done. Okay, I'll keep it here. First done. I'll write where we have film ID. 1 minute. Yeah, film ID is common in film ID and film. Okay, so I can go with film ID here. Category ID and category. The third one table, it is there in that table also. So it will be easy for you to fetch all the details. See this one, category ID. Okay, so this is how you have to keep this all this first table. Okay, if you have a very lengthy data, so you can write here limit 100. Okay, so it will show only 100 rows. Okay, something 100 rows. It will be quick. At least you need to see this. Okay, for this, always use the limit. Don't use select start from film. Okay, if you have humongous data, okay, it will take a lot of time to put, at least 10 minutes. So where uh, film underscore ID, okay, I'll use in here, I'll use the subquery. Okay, we are doing a multiple query. So I'll say select film underscore ID. Okay, so film ID, where is this table in film category, right? From film category. Okay, this part is done in category. Okay, again, what I'm doing is I'm gonna write here, continue here. I'll say where, okay, where uh, category ID. Okay. Now I'm moving to the third table, which is select star from category. You have seen that category ID is there, where category ID uh, equals. Okay. Here I'll write again another statement, select statement. Okay. Select from category table. Last one. Okay. In order. Film, film category, category. Okay. Category. Again here I want to write uh, where what is that in category we have name, right? Name, where name equals to, I'll say action. Okay, this is my query. And make sure you close this bracket here. Okay, so see for this square, this one, for this one. Okay, just make sure, otherwise it will throw an error. Okay, so these are all action movies. Okay, so you get all the details here. See, this is how you can write. Okay, but you need the title. This is the title and category id name is equal to where here in category, right? Here category id I can say no, it will not work out. Okay, so it will not take. Subquery must return only one column. Okay, always remember, every subquery that you write, okay, this is one subquery, this is one subquery, only one column is allowed. Okay, that's a rule. Okay, so this is very important, man. This is very important, you can use. So this comes only by practice. Okay, see, this title is there in this one. Okay, but do you know which movies are action, which movies are horror here? We don't have that info here. See, okay, and category film id and category, if I select category, okay, why we are using category? Okay, film id is there. Okay, select film id from, oh sorry, this one, sorry. So you see I have a film id and category. Okay, to get that information, the category type, I need to connect three tables, then only I can get. You can do joins also, but joins it will become very complex. Here it's subqueries, you get a all action movies. Same thing if I take this, okay, paste it, and categories, what are the type of category? Documentary, comedy, classic. I'll I'll take classics. Okay. CLSS ICS, yeah. Okay, these are all classic movies, list of classic movies. So this is how you can create these queries and keep it ready. Okay, then we have correlated. Correlated The same thing you can do correlated also. I'll just paste it here, correlated. Okay, this is multiple, this is correlated. Okay, so select customer ID, amount from payment. Okay, I took this alias name P1. Okay, where amount greater than select average amount. Same thing last time we did. Okay, only thing I'm doing is P1 customer ID and P1 to I'm matching so that I can eliminate the duplicates. Here I'm doing a correlation. That's it. Nothing else. Same to same this one. Okay. So only thing is after average payment here you can take where customer ID is from payment table and this is payment table. But here if you see this is payment table. Okay. This is payment table and this is payment table. Same table only. Okay. You can write this way also. What we are doing is we are correlating. That's it. Whenever you do some correlation with one column, we call it as a correlated subqueries. Okay, this is your subquery, the second part. The first one is main part, second is this one. Okay, this is and okay, this is a simple one. Select title from film where length is greater than. Okay, the length is greater than. Now average of length. What is the average length of film? See, you why it is not clicking? Okay. Film. Okay, so I'll show you first. Okay, this is my table. We have something called length here. Length. Now, what is the average length here? How do you find out? You can say select AVG. Okay, which column is that? Length, right? Length. LENGTH. Length from film. Okay, so average is 115. Okay, now here in my statement, okay, where length is greater than of average. What is our average? We know the value is 115. So I'll just mention 115 minutes. Okay, movie minute time. Then you can convert that 115 minutes. So roughly 1 hour 10 minutes or something. Okay, so I'll run this. Let's match the result. Okay, so we are getting here what title. Okay, so average length is what 115, so more than that. Okay, so average length, the length is greater than, so these are all lengthy movie, maybe 3 hours or 4 hours. Okay, but in subqueries you can pick only one title, only one column. That's the rule here, nothing else. Okay, clear guys? Okay, we are on time. We'll close this for today. You need to practice this. Okay, so we can please practice. This is very important. Okay, subqueries, queries, nested queries, you have a lot. So I'm just showing you with a simple one. Okay, this is a single row subquery, multiple just now I saw, correlator, nested is last one. Okay, let me share these files with you first. Okay, so I have shared these two files with you guys. Okay, so yeah, it's copied properly. Yeah, so now you can practice this. Okay, this is very important, guys. Okay, at least you run my query and change something here. Okay, so here whatever we are taking, this. Okay, so you have to change, do some changes with some other table. Look for amount, if you have anything amount or something, the rental is there, rental timings are there. Okay, you pick some numeric value and do the correlation here and see. Okay, then only see in real time you can copy this and change the name, game and all, and you can write your query and fetch the results in real time. Okay, and even if you give chat gpt, it will do, but what happens is column names and all, chat gpt doesn't know. Okay, so another thing that we learned is partition table. Based on the partition, you can, okay, you can split your table into types of partitions are range, list, hash. Okay, these are very simple. List is if you have some country, you have to just mention here partition by list. Okay, and which column, say for example this is a country column, so you will say country, then country you will mention, and then you will write your create table 20 this country comma this one country names. Okay, and then partition of which table, that the table, actual table from values, for values, see from will not come for listed one. Okay, you can mention in bracket India. Okay, another one Germany, another one China, like that, another one Japan, like that you create. You just run it, it gets stored in your SQL query. Okay, and then, oh sorry, 1 minute, I have to run this, sorry, that was already created. Okay, so this one gets stored, and when you run this, right, it will be really very fast actually. So that is why we create partitions. Okay, actual we create a partition of actual table based on some range, will take range, list, hash. Okay, so I have shared both files today. Please practice, and Monday we will cover the triggers and store procedure. Okay, I'll show you one example of both of them, and then it comes only with practice. See, I'm writing for one table, you pick up some other table and do it. Okay, or you just enter some amount values here, multiple values for 2025, 2026, 2027, and then you create a partition and pull out your results. Okay guys, that's it for today. uh, we will meet Monday. Okay, bye guys. Yeah, good night.